Today's Thursday, March 26th. Okay?
Yes.
The time is 11:06 a.m. Calling this meeting to order. So we're meeting for our weekly Human Resources meeting. And attending in person are Commissioners Duncan and Filios. We're expecting Commissioner Bill Brooks to join us by phone. We also have other department heads that are joining us by phone as well. Do we have any changes to the agenda?
Yes, item number 3 will be postponed to the holiday buyback for the Sheriff's Office.
Okay, so we're postponing item number 3, which is the holiday buyback in the Sheriff's Office. Okay, so moving on then. First item of business, request for training overlap for payroll technician, new hire auditor's office. Dina?
Well, I think it's
Ronnie? Whoever.
I will let Grace talk to this one.
Okay.
No, I will. So our payroll technician has put in notice her final day will be June 5th. It's a highly skilled position. I'd like to be able to bring a replacement in 1 month prior to her departure and let her train with Kathy. The other position that's in payroll has been with us since January, so they'll both be fairly new. And I would also, yeah.
Go ahead.
So then we would also like to convert the payroll technician's job description to mirror the other payroll person, so they'll both be identical descriptions.
Okay, what's the difference right now?
When we redid the other position, we had them do cross-training for other positions, so they would both be cross-training for other technical
Bill Brooks.
positions.
Okay. Gotcha, so payroll / accounting technician is what you're asking to do this. Okay,
Okay. Just to note, Bill Brooks has just joined us at 11:08. Okay, so you had some changes in payroll. Help me understand this because it's a little bit confusing, right? So did somebody leave? What happened?
The primary payroll technician, Kathy Monkinist, is leaving on June 5th. It will be her last day with the county.
Okay,
She will be gone, so what I'm asking is that we can hire her replacement 1 month prior to her departure, so that that new position can go through 2 payroll cycles with the county
and be trained.
to be trained.
Okay.
okay.
Bill, do you have any questions?
No, what agenda?
Number 1 still.
We're on item number 1 on the agenda.
I just have a
That's
question.
fine. I didn't do it.
Dave, it just says request for training overlap. It doesn't talk about the transition. Can we do both at once?
Yeah, I think it's part and parcel of the same issue.
Great. All right.
You have no questions, Bill? I'm going to
No.
Go ahead, Dina, did you want to say something?
I just wanted to say, because that position was vacant until January this year, we do have salary savings to cover that overlap of a month. So we'll still be under budget for those 2 positions at the end of the fiscal year.
Okay, so what happens going into fiscal '21? In terms of budget?
It'd be a negative. I mean, it'll be
So,
lower.
Are you going to,
Position conversion, if I may add, the
Yeah, go
position
ahead.
conversion is exactly the same. The pay grade is the same, it's just that there's different duties assigned. And we're also doing this job description project, and it's eliminating 1 more job description that we have to update, because it's gonna be the same.
And Kathy's been here a while, so the new hire is not going to make what Kathy makes.
Right, so there is essentially going to be a savings. Unless we find somebody that's like super duper uber qualified, then we won't be paying as much as we currently pay Kathy.
okay.
Does that help?
So the 1 month overlap is just temporary in this year, so
Yeah.
we're anticipating that for next year, both positions will be leveled and there won't be any financial impact long term.
So are we, and help me understand this because it's way complicated. When we're approving this, the one position doesn't change because Kathy's still in it. But once Kathy's gone, then the position will change. So are we actually hiring temporarily? I mean, how are we hiring two people for one position? Kim, thank you.
Whenever we have this type of overlap approval, we set up a temporary number.
Okay,
We'll set them up as a full-time, regular, fully benefited position, and then when Kathy exits, we'll move this temp into her number permanently.
perfect. That's what I needed to know. Thank you. Thank you. Much less confusing.
Bill, any questions?
No, I have none.
Okay. Any other discussion?
You
Okay.
ready for a motion?
Yeah, I'm not prepared to act on this today, but if you want to make a motion, go right ahead.
Okay, well, is there other questions that you have? or-
Yeah, I want to digest this a little bit better. We've just had a flurry of information come at us, especially with COVID-19, so I haven't had enough time to digest this. So I'm not prepared to vote on this today. If you guys want to vote, go right ahead, make your motion.
Bill, are you all right with going forward?
Yes, I am.
Okay. I move that we approve the request for training overlap for payroll technician and that we approve the payroll technician / accounting technician to become active once the temporary position goes permanent. Dave?
I would like to make a statement afterwards. Before we vote, I agree, I second the motion.
You want to say that again?
I second the motion, but I'd like to make a very short statement
Go right ahead.
before we vote. I think it's incumbent upon all of us, I mean, not just the Board of Commissioners, but we're in some new territory here, and there are going to be additional expenses because of the COVID-19 pandemic. And I think there are things we'd like to do, and I think there are things we must do. So I'm prepared to vote for this motion.
So there's your second.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan,
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
And before I vote, let me just say, it's not that I'm necessarily opposed, but I wanted more time to digest the information. And so I'm going to have to vote nay at this point. But anyway, the ayes have it, so the motion is carried. Okay. Moving on to the second item, request for extension of temporary appointment, solid waste. Are we going to need exec?
No.
We don't anticipate it, but because it's a current employee in the position, we added it just in case.
Okay,
So,
go right ahead.
Kathy is on the line for this.
Kathy, you want to speak to this, please?
Yes, I will. This is Kathy Mayer. In December, we had the board authorize the temporary appointment of an operator for a period not to exceed 12 weeks. And we have this because we have been short on equipment operators. So what has happened since that time, we have a number of other operators that have been out on medical leave or light duty, and we would like to make this temporary assignment for a period not to exceed 6 months.
Okay. Discussion, questions?
Yeah,
Okay.
I would.
Go ahead, Bill.
This is not the kind of job that can just be done by anybody. There's some specific knowledge required to do this job, correct?
Yes, that is correct. It is an equipment operator at the transfer station.
Okay, I have never operated equipment. It's a heavy equipment operator, is that correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay, thank you.
Any other discussion? Motion.
I move that we approve the request for extension of temporary appointment with solid waste, not to exceed 6 months.
I second the motion. Oh, yeah, I would see. I second the motion.
Brooks?
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan?
Aye.
Chairman Kootenai?
Aye, and the motion is carried. Item number 3 has been postponed, is that correct? Okay, item number 4, temporary split, conversion of AT2 attorney position, prosecutor's office.
Morning, Commissioners. Barry McHugh here. There's a couple things going on here, and primarily I have the opportunity to hire an experienced attorney who's actually retired from the county to come back and help us out on a part-time basis, less than 20 hours a week, because of the Percy ramifications. And so we also have an intern who is very talented that we believe will be a tremendous asset over the summer as well as over next school year before she graduates. And actually a lot of this is designed around the idea that we'd like to have a position available when she gets through with school. She's that good, probably the second attorney in my experience that has demonstrated the kind of excellent work that all of my attorneys concur is worth whatever, compromises we may be making here, but I don't think we are. And so I've asked for full-time pay for the intern over the summer and then part-time over the school year, and then part-time work for the experienced attorney starting May, first part of May, and then extending, and we'll just continue this into the following year. You can see from Dina's calculations, mine were off a bit, and I apologize for that, but that we're asking for some computers for interns who are using old machines. They go to court, and they really need to have machines that are up to speed and working well as our new AT3 attorney that the board approved that we promoted into, and a printer for 2 employees will be over in the annex.
Okay.
So it's all stuff that is currently in need and will be paid out of the salvage from the salary of the AT2 attorney that would otherwise be there for this year and for next year. I know that that's probably a concern. Everyone wants to make sure that we're not getting into an issue next year, but the same numbers should apply to next year as well. And so I'm asking the board to approve that change to allow for some. And also, the last thing is we've had some expert witness costs in the Eisenberg case. You saw the numbers there. And I'm trying to not come back to the board as much as possible to ask for expert fees, even though I know the board's familiar with how that can occur and how, pretty much on an annual basis, we do come back to ask for additional funds. But I'm trying to avoid that as much as possible by working that into this proposal, which comes in just under even in terms of a little bit of savings.
Except for theoretically next year, if you don't have witness fees and you don't have computers, it'll actually be an $18,000 savings.
A bigger savings, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So recap it simply for us. You're hiring, go ahead, 1 part-time experience?
1 part-time experience, 19 hours a week, probably through the fall of 2021. 1 intern at $20 an hour, full-time during the summer, and then 15 or 20 hours over the school year.
So I presume this individual is entering into his or her 3rd year?
That's correct. So this summer, she'll be making court appearances, and we'll be able to take advantage of that training over the following school year. Probably not during the summer, because she'll be studying for the bar exam, but with any luck, we'll have made a positive impression to the point that she wants to come to work for us full-time. And if we have a position available that I can convert back based on this whole scenario, then that would be great.
What's your fiscal 20 impact? You're okay? You're covered?
Yeah, it should be, like Commissioner, it should be around $18,000.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm looking
Yeah.
at it now.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's this year. And savings going into next year?
I think the 18 is for next year. This year, it's like $300.
It's 852 savings for 2020, and then about 18,000 for
fiscal
2021.
Okay, I can
Yeah.
see that now. Okay, Bill, questions?
None.
Motion?
all right, this is gonna be complicated. I move that we approve the temporary split of the AT2 attorney position with the remainder salary or savings here be used for computers and then the remainder also for witness fees.
Does that cover it?
For fiscal year 20, yes.
Okay. Bill?
He seconded it.
Oh, you did?
I second
Okay.
the motion.
Bill Brooks?
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan?
Aye.
Chairman Philios?
Aye, motion carried.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you. Item number 5, request to adopt reclassification results for Director, Parks and Waterways. Kim?
So at our last personnel meeting, we asked for permission to send out the results to the elected officials. We did that on March 12th, and this is asking to adopt the grade from 15 to 16 for the Parks and Waterways Noxious Weed Control and Snow Department Director.
Okay. So what happens once we adopt the reclassification results? Now we're getting into a wage increase?
So this portion is just for the position itself.
Okay?
Put it at the new grade. The next item on the agenda addresses the increase, which I believe Commissioner Duncan is taking up.
Okay. Questions? Now what, help me understand, or help us all understand, why the reclassification for the director?
Snow groomers.
An additional department was added under the.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm good. Yep, because he's absorbed snow groomers. Okay, I'm good.
Completely separate budget.
Okay. Okay, got it. Motion.
I move that we approve we adopt the reclassification results for the Director of Parks, Waterways, Noxious Weed, Snow Groomers.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks?
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan?
Aye.
Chairman Philios?
Aye, motion carried. Item number 6, request for reclassification increase for the Director of Parks and Waterways. Go ahead, Kim.
Or,
Oh,
I guess
Leslie,
I'll
you
take
got
this
it.
up.
Go.
So, Director is at market at grade 15. So this is a separate grade. This is grade 16. To bring him to market for grade 16 is about a $10,000 annual increase. It's a $5,000 increase because we're about halfway there right now.
The fiscal year.
Yes, but what it actually does is this FY20 savings is about $9,860. Going forward, the annual savings will be $4,800
Okay.
because he absorbed that entire position.
Bill, thoughts?
No, I understand. He's taken on another group under his wing, and that sounds logical to me.
Okay.
Okay, you ready?
Motion.
I move that we approve an increase for the Director of Parks, Waterways, Noxious Weed, Snow Groomers to market of the new grade of 16.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks?
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan?
Aye.
Chairman Philios?
Aye, and the motion is carried. Item number 7, request for exception to policy regarding, administrative leave with pay, public defender. Ann?
Would the board like to put me last? I will need executive for this.
Oh, sure, we can do that. Okay, so item number 7 will be deferred to the end. Let's move on to item number 8, temporary custodial request, BOCC temp budget.
So one idea that I talked to a couple people about was if we were remaining open, that we could look at hiring some temporary custodial help to help with disinfecting the building. But since the stay-at-home order came, I think this is kind of a moot point right now, unless coming out of this, we will have a need in the future. For example, if schools stayed shut, but we opened, for full business, then I would ask that maybe we look into hiring some janitors who are out of work from the schools, with our temporary budget to help our maintenance guys, because our maintenance guys are not sanitizers. They're doing the best they can, and they're doing a really good job. But that was just in case, but with the at-home order, I don't think we're gonna need to address this.
Okay.
So I just want to make everybody aware of it.
So we can defer this for now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
No action necessary. Okay, item number 9, exception 2, hiring policy 120, veteran services. Kim?
Hi, we do have Tom Freeman on the phone, the Veteran Service Officer, but I will say that, as a little history, so you had approved a temporary placement for Terry Dickerson, who is currently has been working for a few weeks out of the Veteran Service Officer location, and they are very happy with the placement, and so they would like to give her, to make an offer of continued employment to her.
Okay.
So it's basically moving it from, her being in a temp assignment to them offering her the job.
Okay.
And so Tom is proposing to put her in basically at the same rate that the previous person was in, so that there's no budget impact. This is an exception to policy because it is higher than 95% of market. However,
But that's where the previous employee was?
it is. Yeah.
Okay.
And
How
Tina
long's-
confirmed that it's a wash.
Sylvia?
She meets the qualifications, has qualifications and work experience to validate bringing her in.
The level?
To the market, to that level.
Okay, I presume the fact that this individual is not a veteran is not an issue?
Well, that was something that Tom had wanted to see how that was working with the clientele that came in, and she has been an excellent fit, and it has not posed a problem. We did go through legal, that it was not statutorily required for her to be a veteran.
Understood.
I'm sorry.
So we would adjust the job description and potentially say preferred, but we need to adjust the job description, because right now it says required, but it isn't a legal requirement.
Okay, it's just a county requirement.
Tom, I have a question.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Have you experienced a dramatic increase in the request for service?
Be more specific, like over the period of time I've been here, or lately because of the coronavirus?
No, just essentially over the time you've been here?
Yes. Services are continuing to be requested at an increasing rate, and I attribute that to the growth that the area is experiencing.
Okay. Anyone else? Bill?
Also, this is Bill Brooks. I'd also attribute to the fact that Tom Freeman is getting out there consistently on a weekly basis to all the veteran groups to make sure they know that there are services available and what they are. This office is often misunderstood. It's conflated with the Veterans Administration, and what they in fact do is help veterans realize what benefits that they can take advantage of with VA and help them prepare their claims.
Understood.
We've got my estimate is about 16,000 veterans in this county being served by one person and an assistant at this point. That's pretty amazing.
Anything else, Leslie?
I don't know if this matters. Bill, is this the same person who's your treasurer?
Yes, you know that.
Okay.
Terry Dickerson has been working with and for me for over a year, but I've just basically given her leave to do whatever she needs to do, and I think Tom can speak to whether or not any other responsibility she has impinges on her ability to attend any meeting, even if they're scheduled on the weekend. Tom?
Yep, there has been absolutely no conflict in any way whatsoever. She has been totally focused here. She has been performing above and beyond her predecessor. The state veteran service officers enjoy working with her, and they're all hoping that she joins the team as well, because Not
I'm
sure
good
if
with
the-
it, Tom. I'm good with it.
What's it?
I'm good.
Yeah, Leslie's fine.
Yep.
Okay,
Okay, all right.
motion?
I move that we approve the exception to hiring policy 120 for the veteran services position.
And I will abstain because I know
Oh,
Terry
okay,
personally.
that's fine. Okay, so I will second the motion.
Aye.
Aye, and the motion is carried for the exception to hiring policy 120 for veteran services. Okay, so now we're going to move back to item number 7, okay, which is a request for exception to policy regarding administrative leave with pay, public defender. And you say there's a need to go into exec?
Yes, I do need to go into exec to describe the situation.
Okay, and I see Kim agrees. Thank you, everyone. Is there a motion then to enter into executive session?
Yes, I move we enter into executive session pursuant to Idaho Code 74-2061A.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan,
Aye.
Chairman Philios.
Aye. Entering into executive session with, who are attorneys? Are Dave and Darren, are you both going to be joining us?
Yes, yeah, Darren.
Okay,
Darren
so,
here, yeah, thank you.
so Darren Murphy, Civil Deputy Prosecuting Attorney, will be joining us.
So make sure Tom and Kathy are off.
Tom, are you off? Kathy, are you off? They're gone.
I move we exit executive session with administrative leave approved as discussed.
I second the motion.
Bill Brooks,
Aye.
Commissioner Duncan,
Aye.
Chairman Philio.
Aye, and the motion is carried. We do have public comment here. Darren, are you still with us?
Yes.
Okay. Given that we're operating under, let's put it this way, emergency procedures, we're getting a lot of questions from employees regarding compensation during this period, especially with employees working from home, or for that matter, perhaps even not necessarily working because they are unable to do so. So we would like to take up as a board this question of compensation during this period. Are you okay with that? It's not specifically on.
Yeah, we can have a general discussion, yes.
Okay. All right, so we're going to be discussing.
You want my suggestions?
Yes, please.
Yeah, that for the hourly employees, that we just do our best to document the time worked. That's going to be tough, but we just do our best to document the time worked. For the salaried employees, that's not really a problem. So that satisfies our FLSA requirements. We don't want hourly employees, working overtime and we're not capturing it. There's some liability to the county if we do that. And then, of course, if people are just at home doing nothing, absent the extended FMLA rules and policy that'll be coming next week, those employees shouldn't be paid if they're just not working. So that's my suggestion.
Okay. Leslie, Bill, thoughts?
No, I would take Darren's advice on this completely.
Yeah, and I think Sylvia's working on a formal policy that, I don't know, can we get it ready for Tuesday's business meeting, or that's,
Yes,
okay.
we've already submitted the request to Terry to
Okay.
put it on the agenda, and Darren's reviewing the policy.
Okay, so,
So-
I'm sorry, go ahead.
So a question I would have, come April 1st, we have that new law, federal law about employee rights on the paid sick leave and whatever. So are we considering the Idaho's stay-at-home order as, if an employee is sent home, that they would be paid for that? Because personally, I think we should keep our employees home.
Okay.
This isn't of their own.
I'm going to give you my opinion. We have a stay-at-home order from the governor. I would like to keep this simple. We have, I don't know how many of you saw the stats this morning. First-time unemployment claims were expected to be 1 million, 3.26 million. I am of the opinion that whatever the reason, employed, not working, if it's not up to the employee and they are forced to stay home, that at least through the governor's order, which ends April 15th,
It's
that
21 days, April 15th.
that everybody be paid irrespective. That is my opinion. At that point, we can revisit. It's budgeted, the salaries are in there. This is not the employee's doing. We are operating under extenuating circumstances. If we should happen to lay people off, we could be facing increased costs later on and placing an undue burden on the employees. Those are my thoughts.
And I think most of our departments have work-from-home options. I think it's really a
Yes.
small percentage who are at home not working, very small. Dina, do you have things to add?
I would just say that for employees that have to go home and they want to work from home, but they can't, this is a nice way for them to not burn up their accruals because it's compulsory.
Precisely.
Yeah.
But we are also considered, most of us are considered essential.
Yes.
So people can't work here.
Yes.
And so I think departments are trying to mitigate that by rotating staff in and out. reducing
Precisely.
Staff numbers and trying to maintain service levels. So it sounds like in general, we're trying to work through this. But if you guys are good with us just paying people normal time, if it's compulsory that they have to be home, do you want us to
I do.
Yes, please.
All right.
Yes. What about the school closures that happened in March where employees are at home, some unable to work at home? How do we process, that happens this pay period, that we're going to be
Yeah.
addressing those issues?
So I think hopefully it's a small enough number where we can address those individually, but they will qualify for the 2/3 for sure. And then,
But this is
pre-April 1st, yeah.
So it's kind of up to us how we want to handle it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Pay them for goodness sakes.
yeah.
Okay, this is, yes,
Just COVID pay then?
yeah.
Okay.
Track it,
Mm-hmm.
obviously.
Let's be clear, we do not want employees that have taken time previous to this law being implemented, as vacation or sick leave. We want us to just pay them for people that have been home.
If it's directly related to COVID closures, then I think that's,
That helps us a lot.
I agree.
yeah, if somebody broke their toe and they've been off work for a week, that probably wouldn't cover it.
It's a little bit different.
Thank you.
Yeah, go ahead, Jen.
What about people that feel they don't want to come to work because they feel like they would be exposed?
If they have a doctor's note, then it's COVID related. Yeah, if their doctor is asking them to stay home. If they're choosing not to work, I don't know.
So would you handle that as using vacation time or sick time? I guess because we're looking some direction on that.
Yeah.
The thing is, well, here, let me try to simplify it. If they're uncomfortable coming to work or insecure or whatever, but they have the ability to work from home,
Yeah,
pay them.
that's great. But if
Pay
they
them.
don't have the ability to work from home and they're not coming to work, then I think that's a separate issue that
That's
we
right.
probably have to take up singularly. Is that a
Take it
word?
up on a case by case. If you have a situation where somebody is uncomfortable coming to work, does not have the ability to work from home,
And doesn't
and-
have a doctor's note.
that's their choosing.
So if they cannot work from home, and they feel uncomfortable coming to work before this implementation here of the law, is it a discretion that they can use their sick leave, even though if they're not sick, instead of vacation?
And I
Go ahead, Sylvia.
I thought it was left up to the elected officials to decide in the interim, so I don't know if that causes more confusion.
Yeah, Darren, do you want to weigh in here?
Yeah, I'm having a tough time picking up some of the audience. So
Oh,
what was the
okay.
question?
The question is, if somebody cannot work from home, they are uncomfortable coming to work, so they just want to stay home, they do not have a doctor's note, so essentially they're refusing to come to work, we're wondering how to handle that.
So, yeah, I do agree with the commissioners that those are case-by-case basis to see what the situation is. But typically, hey, let's try to accommodate the best that we can. Legally not required to pay. I anticipate that Sylvia is going to request on this policy that we make it retroactive so that we cover up this interim period. So I heard some questions, hey, what do we do in this
Right.
interim period?
Right.
If the board does decide to make the policy retroactive. Effectively, in the past, when we've had strange situations, we've just used administrative leave to cover them. So that's really all we're doing. So Leslie, to specifically answer your question, case-by-case basis.
Perfect.
Okay.
So Darren, if we're gonna make this policy retro, is it the date of declaration by the county, or at what date would I want that?
I signed the declaration, I think it was March 15th.
Yeah. And the governor signed the
that-
declaration March 13th.
Oh, okay, yes.
Well, that was
So
a
I
Friday.
think that would
Yeah.
be proper for the board. It's the board's discretion, but that seems reasonable to me.
Yeah.
Go with the 15th, because the 13th was a Friday, so I think he signed it later in the day.
Yeah.
It
It doesn't matter. It's
doesn't
it's
matter.
whatever that first day of the pay
Yeah.
period is, right? Isn't that that weekend?
That was, yes, that was the very first day of pay period 7.
Yeah. Yep. So that's fine.
So that would be,
15th.
okay.
Yeah.
So then for this pay period, if we receive documentation from a department and the the elected official directs to use COVID admin time, then we're okay to just go ahead and code it that way.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you.
So Darren, as we end this discussion, what's our next step? I mean, we've given direction, I think, to staff, but we haven't taken a formal vote. Can you help us out?
Yeah, so there's
Tuesday
really
business
nothing to do. Next week, it'll formally come before the board on Tuesday.
Okay, business meeting.
And at the business meeting, this was just kind of an information sharing discussion.
Understood. Okay. Bill, you okay?
Yeah, I am, and I agree. Right now, the best approach is a case-by-case basis. We need to take the time to sort these things out.
Leslie?
Yes, I'm fine, thank you.
Okay. Any more public comment?
So that we're blowing
12,
up.
12 p.m. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone.